Welcome, everybody. Those of you who are just joining, we're going to be getting the call started really soon, so just hang tight. Hang tight. Tell us where you're from if you haven't already. Always love to hear from everybody.
Follow me. This guy is literally begging for me. He's like, hey, guys.
What's up, everybody? West Texas, all right. Arkansas, Lancaster. Yeah, Australia. Good to have you from Australia. Southern Missouri. All right. Southern Missouri. I know a little bit about that. What's up, Victor Abbott? How you doing, brother? Just got two after. I'm just going to give it a few more seconds and we'll get started. Los Angeles. Okay. I am going to record this soon tonight because I do want to talk about some things that I think people need to see. And the first thing we're going to address right away is this scammy, which I told you guys would happen. Remember, before the launch, I told you guys that this would happen. So hold on just a second. I'm going to record it.
Recording in progress.
All right. Welcome, Sosana family. This is Mark Ross. And we're going to get this call started. Let me open up my video really quick. Going to turn on the ability. Just a second. All right, there we go. Okay. So the first thing I want to address today is a lot of people were contacting me about there's another Sosana Telegram out there. And remember, I told you guys that this would happen, that there would be, you know, fake this, fake that, right? And one of the things that they do, the reason why they start these Sosana Telegrams, they try as hard as they can to make it look exactly like our Telegram. Okay, so, but what you guys have got to do, first of all, to recognize it, I'm going to tell you how to recognize it, number one. But number two, how to make sure it doesn't ever happen again. Because if you're one of the people that got pulled into that Telegram, it's kind of like spam. And you also need to go into that Telegram and report it. Now, remember, in the beginning of the day, pretty much earlier this morning, US time anyway, David Track went in there and warned everybody and gave you guys instructions on what to do and pinned that message. He put it in general and announcements. So make sure that you see the security alert that he sent you, which is actually going to give you very specific instructions on what to do if you got pulled into that channel. You need to report the channel. The more reports it gets, the faster it goes away and the less people get scammed. But what happens? How do people get scammed? This is how it happens. They go in there and they see an announcement that basically says, and we put this in the Telegram too, it says, hey, you know, everybody, Sosana airdrop. Connect your wallet. Let me tell you something we're not ever going to do, folks. We are never going to have a Sosana, you know, giveaway where you connect your wallet and we give you Sosana tokens. That's never going to happen. Just know that going in. So if you ever see that, just you'll know, okay, that's a scam. It's not real. Okay. But that's what these look-alike, you know, Telegrams do, is they try to look exactly like the official community chat. And they put a bunch of members in there and then they pull in through spam. If your settings aren't right, they'll pull you in and you'll get, you know, you'll end up in their chat. Okay. So what you want to do here is, I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to share the screen really quick to show you how you can put the setting in your Telegram to make sure that you never, ever get pulled into a chat from anyone except maybe your personal contacts or maybe no one at all, if that's the way you want it. I've got to have it for my personal contacts because there's always people in Telegram pulling me into actual legitimate chats, right? But I'm going to share my screen really quick just to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so what you're doing is this little area here. Now this is my desktop version, but it's pretty similar if you have cell phone version. I know it's like 3 dots instead of maybe 3 lines, but you click on these 3 lines, you go to settings, and then you just a second here. I'm looking at my own because I actually put this down. Okay, settings, privacy and security. So you go to privacy and security, then you go to groups and channels. There it is. See that? Groups and channels. Click on that. And then you say, who can add me to groups and channels? And you're going to put only your contacts or nobody. You just don't want everybody's, obviously selected there, because then you're going to get pulled into these scam chats. They're going to pull you in. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. You select that, my contacts or nobody. You click save. And now you can never, ever again be pulled into a chat that you didn't want to be in. Okay. So that's that. But that was the first thing I wanted to address today. Now we're going to address what I call the purge, because every project has it, and this was ours. And you got to remember, I told you guys how to think long term, right? I told you guys that. Let's see how many people in the Telegram remember this. I'm going to ask you guys a question. What were the two main obstacles for you in terms of what were the two biggest obstacles for you in being successful when it comes to making really good decisions, when it comes to building your portfolio and being in token projects? What are those things? What are they? Okay, we've already got some answers. Greed and fear, right? Okay. Everybody else saw you guys put it in there, so they know. All right. Greed and fear. What is it that causes greed and fear? Do we remember? What causes greed and fear? Think about it. Tell me. What do you guys think? Lack of knowledge. Okay, that's the biggest thing, right? Because lack of knowledge makes you think in what way? It makes you think in the short term, right? Exactly. Victor's on top of it, buddy. Gold star for Victor. He's all over this. Okay. So that's the reality of it, folks. You're going to think short term if you don't have a lot of knowledge, and the symptoms are greed and fear. So you might be one of those persons, and let me tell you, most of us in here, I can promise you, are not day traders. Don't try to be a day trader if you're not one. If you don't have tremendous experience in reading charts and day trading and understanding how to handle your emotions and stuff like that, don't even try, because you're just going to mess it up. That's just the reality. You think that's advice. I'm not trying to give you financial advice. You guys can do with whatever you want your token. You can do whatever you want with your tokens. I'm just giving you what I believe, in my opinion, is a way to think moving forward. Make sure that you're fully educated on what the Sosana project is all about. What is this utility? What makes us so special? And why do we really think long term that we believe we're going to go viral and everybody in the Solana ecosystem is going to find out about us? And is it going to be a straight line up? Of course not. Is there going to be people that think short term and want to sell? Yes. And if you have an opportunity to buy when it dips, you might think about doing that. You can see that a lot of people did. Okay. And I can go into all kinds of chart analysis and stuff like that, but there's no point in that, because I'm not here to teach you guys how to day trade, even though I've gotten into that some. I'm not a day trader either. I don't like it. I could be, but I don't like it. It's not, well, maybe you could say I can't be because I don't want to. It's really hard to do something you don't want to do, right? And when it comes to, your vocation, what you do for a living, this is not something I want to do. I, like most people, want to find really quality projects and build my portfolio. I think long term. I believe the turtle wins the race. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that when most people think short term, that they're most likely to be successful, or that the turtle wins the race? Don't you agree with me? The turtle wins the race, right? And that's the reality of it. You got to think that way every time. I want you guys to think that way. If you believe in our project, again, this is not financial advice. If you don't believe in Sosana, you should be selling it. You shouldn't be here if you don't believe in the project. But if you believe in the project like we do, and you see the long-term potential, then you should be thinking long-term. You shouldn't be thinking, oh, what happened today? Oh, don't be staring at the chart. Listen, one of the last things you want to do, if you're really in this for the long haul, if you're thinking, okay, I'm in this for the long haul. If you've made that decision, you're in it for the long haul. Don't stare at the chart every 2 minutes, every hour. Don't come in and check the chart all the time. I know it's exciting. I know things, whenever it's all green, it's really fun, isn't it? But you know what you're doing? You're allowing yourself to be subject to the emotions of the market when you check it over and over and over and over. How many people, I'll tell you this, some of the best people that made out on Bitcoin, this is really funny, because I knew some people. I knew a guy, actually, I'll give you a story. Excuse me. He bought about $15,000 worth of Bitcoin when it was $1,500, which means he owned 10 Bitcoin. Okay. He actually, and I mean, he literally got locked out of his Coinbase and could not get in. And he struggled with getting back into his Coinbase to the point where he literally just set it down and said, heck with it, man. Forget it. I can't get back in. This really sucks. Customer service isn't helping me. Forget it. And he stuck because he just made a decision. He was like, I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm just gonna forget about it. He forgot all about it. He forgot all about Bitcoin. You know, he just kind of just thought, it is what it is. Maybe I'll get in there someday. Now, a friend of his knew the dilemma, and this was literally years later. This is like a couple years later, okay? Maybe 2 or 3 years. I don't remember. And his friend called him up one day and said, you know, you told me that you weren't able to get back into that, and I've been thinking about this Bitcoin thing. It's pretty amazing. I've been praying for you. I just want you to go check. I want you to try to get back into your Coinbase. Now, it had been years, and he couldn't get back into it. And I can tell you, to his benefit, he wasn't able to even have access to it. And when he came back, he was literally he was a kind of like, I'm giving the numbers wrong because now I'm realizing he had $1.2 million in Bitcoin at the time, so it was more than 10 Bitcoin. It wasn't $1,500. I don't know what it was. He put in $15,000 and he ended up with a lot of Bitcoin. Let's just say it was 30 some Bitcoin. I think that's what it was. And it was when Bitcoin was worth about $40,000. He had $1.2 million in Bitcoin because he hadn't touched it for like years, right? I'm not sitting here telling you to just, put Sosana away. Don't look at it for years. I'm not saying that. But the point is, all of that time saved him because he knows darn well he would have sold it sooner. He knows he would have, but he didn't. And he believed in Bitcoin, but he didn't have that understanding. He's not even that crypto savvy. I mean, I had to literally show this guy how to use his wallet and all kinds of stuff. So chances are, because he had lack of knowledge, he would have made a decision to sell it a lot sooner, I think. I don't think he would have waited till it was 1.2 million. So for him, it was just kind of a blessing, right? Why do I call this the purge? A friend of mine said it today and gave me the term. My friend Curtis, he was like, great purge today. Curtis is one of those guys that just usually has a really good positive mindset. And he was just, chatting to me, texting me, and he's like, man, great purge. So rather than him going, oh man, the chart's dipping. Oh, what's going to happen? I don't understand. This is kind of scary. I don't like this. He was like, great purge, man. Because what happens when the sellers come in? Remember, they can only sell once unless they buy again. So from the time they bought their tokens to the time that they sell, they can only sell once. They can't ever do it again, right? And once they've done it, they're gone. And folks, that's what we're going to do all the way up. If you look at the daily chart, this is our daily chart, okay? So far, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 positive days, 1 bad day. I'd say that's pretty good. That's 4 for 5. And we're already starting the next day. We'll see where it ends up. Who knows? We might have 2 bad days in a row. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody can predict it. I know everybody speculates on things that they think is going to happen, and then they want to front run ideas and all that stuff. They want to try to time the market. If you want to get in that game, that's your choice. I don't recommend it. I recommend that if you really believe in this project, that you think long term. But again, I can't give you financial advice and tell you what you can and can't do with your tokens. They're yours. They're all yours, and you can do whatever you want with them. But all I can tell you is, especially for most of you that don't know how to trade, that don't know how to, buy and sell, maybe buy low and sell high and all that stuff. Everybody wants to be able to do that, right? Most of you don't know how. So what you might want to consider thinking is thinking of this as a long-term play and let the sellers sell. You can't control it. What happens when you try to control something you can't control? How does that make you feel? When you try to control something you can't control, how does that make you feel? Answer me. How does that make some of you guys feel? Answer that in the Telegram if you don't mind. How do you feel when you try to control something you can't control? Frustrated, right? Anybody else? Irritated? Anxious? Anybody think of that? Stressed? Anxious? Yeah, you feel you've lost control when you try to control something you can't, because guess what? You can't. No matter what you guys do, you're not going to will this chart to go either direction. You're not going to make this chart go up or down. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is just think long term, and if you really believe in the project, know that every time there's a dip, there's an opportunity, right? There's an opportunity for you. And you decide what your goal is. I don't know if your goal is $1, $10, or $100, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. I'm not here to tell you what your goal is. I told you what I think the potential of the project is, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you what your goals should be. You guys got to make that decision. I can't give you financial advice. All I can do is give you all the information that I have and just deliver it to you and tell you why I believe in this project. But that's just my opinion, isn't it? It's not a fact. It's just my opinion. You guys got to decide if you agree with my opinion. And if you do, then you're in it for the long haul. And these little red bars, you know, so I know there's people, I heard them in the chat. They say, yeah, I've been waiting for these red bars. And you got people out there that are waiting for that. They're like, man, I can't wait to see it happen. Because when it happens, they know that they can get more tokens. Some of the biggest investors, again, not financial advice, but I've heard billionaires talk about it, even in the crypto industry. They sit there and say, yeah, I'm holding this particular project or this particular crypto or whatever. And every time I see it make a significant dip, I add a little more. Like, that's their strategy. I'm not telling you that that should be your strategy. I'm just telling you that that's what some of the really big investors do, because they're not trying to time the market either. If you try to time the market, you know, you've got, you know, it's like you better have a lot of knowledge. You better really know what you're doing if you're going to try to time the market. Okay. And even then, you're going to realize that you're still going to be wrong a lot of times, right? You're still going to be wrong. Even if you know what you're doing, you're still going to be wrong sometimes. And if you don't know what you're doing, man, not only are you going to be wrong, but you're going to get emotionally wrecked, because you're just going to be like, oh man, what did I just do? Why did I just do that? Why didn't I just wait? You know, I believe in this project long term. What am I thinking? And it's a lot easier to get caught up in that if you're staring at the chart every day. Okay, maybe check once a day. If you believe in this thing long term, don't do yourself a favor and turn off the charts. Okay, that's just, think about it. I'm not giving you like advice on what to do, but I'm just telling you a thought. Think about it. You might want to think about turning off the chart and just go about your day, because you're in, right? And in my opinion, you're in at a really good spot. And for those of you that have been waiting for the dip, you know, you might consider getting in, you might not. It's up to you. But that's what people think about. I hope that helps you guys in terms of what's going on. And I can tell you this. This is one thing I will guarantee you. The only thing I can guarantee you is, no matter what that chart looks like today or tomorrow, we're going to be here. I'm going to show up on the Zoom. Brian's going to show up on the Zoom on a regular basis. And we are going to continue forward with this project. And if you guys want to take this bumpy ride up all the way to the top with us, you can. If you want to, if you're here for a short-term gain, that's your decision. But I'm just telling you, we're not going anywhere. We're here. And I don't care what the chart does. We will be here at 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday night, telling you what's next, giving you all the information you need to know, answering questions, and building this project. We are not going to give up. And if you know that, if you believe in us, then you should believe in the long term. You should be looking down the road going, okay, where do I think we're going to be in 3 months, 6 months, whatever? Where do I think we're going to be? That's how you should think about this, because that's what we're here for, right? I'm going to bring you out, Brian. Well, tell me if you got anything to add to it. I'm going to let you share a little bit from your side, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you. I will say this too. I just before I really get into a couple things, responding to what you just said earlier, you know, it's not only that we won't be asking you to connect your wallet. I saw the post that everybody was talking about. It said connect your wallet and simply type in your seed phrase. And then we will actually give you this airdrop. It said those specific terms. And when I first saw it, my very first thought was, well, nobody's going to do that. And then I self-corrected almost immediately and said, nobody would do it who knew what they were doing, but it's not designed to get people who know what they're doing, right? I mean, it's designed to get people who don't even really understand the significance of a seed phrase, and that they are in essence giving away the combination to their safe when they give that to a stranger, and that's how you're going to get robbed. So I realized that at the end of the day, man, we have to make sure we're continuing to educate people. We got to look out for each other a little bit. You know, everybody here is at a different level of understanding and about the crypto space. And understand something, man. If the wolves did not think that we were, you know, that we were significant, they wouldn't waste their time with us, right? They'd be out looking for a bigger prey. The fact is, a lot of people are aping into Sosana, good and bad, right? Because they're like, there's something going on here. There's a lot of money that's going to be over there. So, for the people who are in the community, that are the majority of the people that are honest and are trying to basically, make a way for their family, they're like, hey, how can we go out and magnify this and earn more money? But for the wolves, it's like, hey, how can we pick off as many of the stray sheep as we can and you know what I mean, and get something for free. So just keep that in mind, guys. I would say if you are brand new to the crypto space, before you trust anything that you see in a Telegram group, talk to the person who recruited you. And if they are brand new, just talk to the person who introduced them, et cetera, until you get to somebody on your team who knows this space and you say, hey, this is what they're asking me to do. Does that sound right? And I think you'll find out right away that you can save yourself a lot of heartache. Mark, my day started off today, and I hope these guys don't mind me. I will not use your name unless you guys want to text me right now and say, yeah, we don't care if you use our name. But my day started off with a call early this morning from two people that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. I think they're crypto geniuses. They are a part of this project. I knew both of them before this project. One of them is the first person to ever explain to me the concept, and it was a long time ago now. It was years and years ago, but he explained to me the concept of buying the dip, which at the time I'd never heard of that before. And it was like a revolutionary thing for me of a strategy for how to go out and really make money. And now everybody talks about doing that and everybody does it, et cetera, et cetera. But I'll never forget that he was the first person that told me, and I was like, man, I felt like I just gotten some really, really valuable content and information. But I get on the phone with these two crypto geniuses this morning. They're excited about the project. They wanted to have a conversation about momentum and all the things that can be going on to create momentum. They were gracious enough to share with me. They do very big webinars because they have a very big team of people that listen to, trust, and respect them. They do very big webinars, kind of teaching people what you should be thinking about any given day, how you should be reacting, how you position yourself the best possible way to benefit from what's happening here with Sosana and this incredible project, man. And I'll tell you, man, I get on the phone with them and I'm listening to them and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, these guys got it. And I realized that one of the things we're going to do here, I think, Mark, in the very near future, is we're gonna spotlight a lot of the leaders, man. We have some incredible leaders. I know we've done a good job. We had the professor on here. We've had Keith Lacey on here. I know we got some other leaders on here that want to remain kind of undercover for a little bit, right? Because of other things that they don't want to disturb. But we really, I mean, if you got some of the brilliance that we have in our team and in our community right now, and I know we got some generous spirits, man. We'd love to kind of talk to you guys and have you kind of highlight some of the things that are working for you, et cetera, because I really think the community can learn from it. Because here's the reality, and you guys have heard me say this before. One of the greatest things I love about this project is that whether you are a brand new person, right, who has no idea what you're doing, somebody just got you excited enough to say, I'm going to go in and I'm going to buy some Sosana, right? That was it. That's all you knew how to do. They figured it out. Maybe they even bought the Sosana for you and simply sent it to your wallet. So maybe you don't even know how to buy it yet. But whatever that thing is that they did to get you started and you feel like, man, I don't know. I mean, I hope the token goes up. You know, I got it at this level. I got it at 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, 80 cents, whatever. But I hope it goes up so I can make a profit. Whatever it is, whatever that is for you, right? And you don't know how to do it. The reality is just being in this space with a whole bunch of other people that do know what they're doing, that do know, how to basically go out and create momentum, that do have reach, that they can go out and they can get a lot of other people enrolled in the vision, and they can attract a lot of other people that are going to come here. And as Mark always says, put more and more buy pressure into what we're doing. Guys, you're going to benefit from that. You're going to benefit from just being around. But keep in mind that one of the key things about what's going to happen when we launch out with the affiliate platform is that part of the affiliate platform is you're going to get access to all of the educational tools that are there. A lot of it, you know, from our very own, you know, Mr. Mark Ross, the real Mark Ross, by the way, not the fake Mark Ross that is supposedly chairing the other bogus group, but the real Mark Ross with the 2 S's and all that kind of stuff, right? You're going to get real content teaching you, whether you're just learning how to download a wallet, all the way up to if you're looking for advanced strategies for how you can do, you know, for how you can buy and sell and reach out, all this kind of stuff and everything in between. But most important, you're going to get the real content of what you need to do to really be able to evaluate if projects are good or not. Again, nobody can make a guarantee that this project is guaranteed 100% to go 1000x, but you can start to figure out some of the things you look at right away that say, this is a non-starter for me. You know, this is something I'm not going to do. And I think a lot of people are looking for a place like that. Remember what Sosana is, right? Shiny odds syndrome and nothing accomplished, right? It's almost like a shout out, if you will, to all the people like everybody here, right? Who've had their moments, right? Where they have been, you know, they have done that. They've jumped around from thing to thing. They've gotten distracted on things. They've gotten the things they knew they shouldn't be involved in. They've done all these types of things. And as a result, did not have a good experience, right? But, you know, maybe picked up something that could help them move on. They say the best way to become successful is through experience. The best way to get experience is through failure. So they're just kind of going through that learning curve and that journey to get there. But here's what I wanted to say to you guys. Number one, Mark showed it. He showed the charts, right? The up and downs of the charts. He said, how does it make you feel? And, you know, I could tell by the text messages I get how it's making some people feel, right? The people who are most inexperienced, it's probably making them feel like they're bipolar, even if you're not, right? You got these real high, oh my God, it's up, followed by, oh my God, it's down, right? And that don't live in that space if that's how you think. The people who are experienced are like, yay, just like Mark said, they're calling them up. I've been waiting for the red. I've been waiting for the red, man. I wanted to get more tokens, but I wanted to get the best price possible. This is awesome, bro. I'm gonna be able to get in and get to my token allotment that I want to get to. So again, it just all comes down to what is your perspective. So here's where we are. We're 5 days in. I think people forget that. It seems like it's been 10 years already, but we're 5 days after launch. Our token price right now, even with that, whatever you want to call it, is still about what, 65 at 665 to 70x or something like that. Or I'm sorry, 350x is what it is. So that's pretty good, right? From the starting price that it started out with to what it is today, it's going to get, in our opinion, it's going to get a lot better. It will not just do this; it's going to do some of this, but as long as we can keep it going on an upward trajectory, that's what we're most going to care about. The overall, not the minute to minute, day to day. But what you should be focused on right now is just a couple of things. Number one is remember where we're going. And if you don't remember where we're going, one of the things I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to actually work on putting together a visual depiction of exactly what this is, how we see it, where it's going, so you can stop. It's not just all words. You guys can actually see it. You can snapshot it off your screen. You can have it in your brain. You can put a chart up on your wall from this point forward, so you can really understand the basics of the Sosana conversation and why it is that when that conversation is shared with people properly, people say right away, I got to get in. I got to be a part of that. What do I need to do? How do I buy? What wallet do I need? What currency do I need? Et cetera, et cetera. So number one for you, if you're focusing on momentum, is who are you going to talk to? You know, who's the list of people right now that you think you want to go out there and you want to share this with? And who are those people? How do you know them? When are you going to contact them? Number two, master a brief Sosana pitch. You don't have to be the expert, right? I know some of you guys are experts, but if you're not one of those experts, don't try to be the expert. Just be able to say enough to pique someone's interest and get them excited enough to say, hey, I want to learn more. And then maybe you introduce them to an expert. Maybe you send them a video presentation that Mark and myself have done that we have on our YouTube channel, right? So people can get some more information. Maybe you put them on these webinars of some of these incredible leaders that we have here that are doing presentations every single day. But just master a brief enough presentation that a person will say, I want to hear some more. I want to learn some more about that. I need to know what's going on about that, right? And then finally, guys, remember, man, that when knowledge is low, anxiety is high. It's like a seesaw, right? It starts off when you don't know a lot, anxiety is way up here. But the more you learn, as knowledge goes up, anxiety comes down. So don't wish it was easier. This is a Jim Rohn, one of my favorite business philosophers. Don't wish it was easier. Wish for more skills. because if it was easier and everybody could do it, there'd be no value in it. If everybody in the world right now really understood crypto, everyone in the whole world understood it to the nth degree, it'd be a much more difficult to make money in crypto. That is an absolute fact. The reason why you can make so much money so potentially fast, at least compared to, spaces outside of here, is because you guys are here first, and you got to understand that. So don't worry about all the stress and all that stuff from a mindset standpoint. Raise up your knowledge level, your anxiety level is going to go down. And just remember this, the launch was one inflection point. That was just one inflection point, right? Now we've got the utility coming. As we start getting into that voter, that degen voter mechanism, that is going to drive so much excitement, but it's also going to drive so many other verticals where you can make money. I think a lot of people tend to forget that. They're like, man, the only way I can make money is by the value of my token. Remember, the token is like the key to the safe. It's going to let you into the safe, and it's going to give you an opportunity every couple of weeks to really get some key information that if you decide to act on it, again, we can't tell you what to do. It's completely up to you, but it's going to give you a chance to be in the right place at the right time. 100%, we don't get to make guarantees, but when you have a community like this, and as it builds and builds and builds, it becomes a market-making community. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. That's why everybody's going to want to be a part of Sosana. And then finally, keep this in mind that as we roll out with the affiliate program and we give people the opportunity now to go in and enroll people, seriously, just enroll people in Sosana, and people are buying Sosana tokens so they can actually go through that enrollment process, and you on the front end get to earn commissions from that. Those commissions are paid in Sosana tokens. For those of you who said, man, I really wish I got more tokens at the launch, that's going to be another opportunity for you to be able to get a lot more tokens for simply going out and sharing the information. And keep this, guys, if you believe what we believe, that this is just the beginning, that we're going to go through this, but the prices that they are right now, and the prices that you got it at, even if you got it at a higher price than it is right now, people a few months from now will never see those prices ever again. If you really believe that, and you really understand that, then you understand that as we launch that affiliate program, you're going to want to go out and build it as quickly as possible, because the Sosana commissions that you get paid, in the near future could be worth a ton more later, right? So again, $25 worth of Sosana, or $30 or $50 worth of Sosana, or whatever, or $1,000 worth of Sosana in a week, 3 weeks from now, could be worth way more than that 6 months down the road, right? So the people who not only build it, but build it the fastest, who are the most aggressive at sharing this, who are the most excited, who exhibit the most passion, they're once again putting themselves in position to have the biggest wins. Guys, don't wait around, sitting around, seeing what everybody else is doing. Just go out and do the necessary things to put yourself in the best possible position. So yeah, we launched. There's a lot of stuff going on. People, we got the wolves in here. I know Mark, again, I say this to you guys all the time. People actually say it back to me, so I know they're feeling the same thing. Mark has a big heart. He cares about people. He doesn't want to see anybody get banged up. So it bothers him at his core to see this kind of stuff. And he brings that to these calls. Hey, here's how can we protect the people? What's the best thing we can do? How can we make sure that people aren't getting banged up? How can we help them as much as we can? So guys, we're going to continue to do that. I'm asking you guys to look out for each other as well. But do not forget, we've been waiting for a long time to get this started so we could go out and really have the impact and change the world like we know we're going to do. But in the process of doing that, again, because you're here early, because 99.999% of the global population has never even heard about Sosana and had the opportunity to make a decision or a choice of whether they want to be involved or not, you are in prime pole position to get the greatest benefit of the growth of Sosana, the growth of this project, the growth of these tokens, the growth of the degen voter system, the growth of the portfolio that can come from the degen voter system, et cetera, et cetera. You're in the greatest position to benefit from that than anybody else will ever be. That is what you should be thinking about. Not watching the charts, unless the only reason you're watching the charts is because you're looking for a new entry point to keep building up your massive Sosana. Don't worry about it. If that's not what you're doing, you don't have to focus on that. Focus on who am I going to be talking to? How am I going to actually come up with a real quick, compelling pitch to pique interest? And then how am I going to raise up my knowledge so I have less and less anxiety? So no matter what anybody says, no matter what any question asks, it doesn't throw me off kilter. I know exactly how to respond because now I'm much more knowledgeable than I was maybe just a day ago or a week ago or a month ago or a year ago. And if you're doing that, you're not just becoming more of a value to the community and more of a value to yourself. You're becoming more of a value to all the other people that you haven't even met yet who are looking for an opportunity to win, because they're going to listen to you, because they're going to realize you know what you're doing. And that's the type of people that people are going to want to follow. So Mark, with that said, bro, I'm going to throw it back to you. Looking forward to putting together this visual depiction, and we'll actually rock and roll with that tomorrow night's call.
Loving it, man. Always bringing the energy as usual, Brian. Thank you, brother. So
Sure.
Let me show you guys something just to give you some perspective. What is, I want you guys to answer this in Telegram, because I just want to make sure you guys are on the same page. What is the most successful crypto project in history? What do you guys think? Give me an answer in Telegram. What's the most, okay, Bitcoin, right? Okay, who else thinks, is that what you think? Bitcoin, okay. Does anybody else have any other idea? Bitcoin or what? Bitcoin, Doge, okay, interesting. Bitcoin, yep. Pepe, huh? All right. Interesting. How do you measure success? It's an interesting question because there's actually a lot of ways to measure success. You might say the largest market cap. If you say the largest market cap, obviously it's Bitcoin, right? There's no way that you can even argue that. But if you also say, maybe you think of the time. I mean, it took Bitcoin many, many years to be successful. It took a really long time because people didn't understand blockchain, right? But I'm going to give you guys really quick, just kind of a visual, just to kind of give you a perspective. I looked this up while Brian was talking, and this is just something I'm doing on the fly. I didn't plan this. I just looked it up. I'm going to show you guys a Bitcoin chart. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Tell me in the chat if you can see it. Okay. Now, see that little bitty black box as I hover over it? See that right there? Everybody see it? It says 8. Now, that's the dollar amount. If you're looking at the date there, if you guys can see it, I hope you can see it. If you're on cell phone, it's probably impossible, but it says 31st of July in 2011. And that's honestly, that's not even when Bitcoin started. It started sometime in 2009. But I guess it just started getting charted here. And maybe someone has a better chart out there. But you get in for $8. And if you're in for $8, check this out, okay? I'm just going to move along here. 31st of August, we're down to $5. So a month later, you went from $8 to $5. How many people do you think went from $8 to $5 and said, you know what? I don't know about this thing. I put like $1,000 in. I'm not going to mess with this. This is, I don't know. Because they didn't what? What did they not know? They didn't know what blockchain was, right? Now, I hadn't even heard of, I could say vaguely something happened in 2011. I could have sworn I saw something come across my computer screen in some kind of news article or something. I don't know what it was that talked about Bitcoin, but I just paid no attention. Okay. That's kind of where I was in 2011. I was doing all kinds of weird stuff. So not bad, but you know, it's way outside of crypto. So let's keep going here. $3. Okay. $5. We're talking months here. Every time I move, it's months. It's a month, I mean. $5, $5, $5. Stayed at $5 forever. Look at this. 31st of May 2012, we're back to square one almost at 7. There's 9. Okay, we're literally $1 in profit. And it's been since July of 2012. And that right there, I believe, is June 2012. So that's almost a year. And you just made $1. It's crazy. So you guys can look back all you want on this Bitcoin thing and think, man, I wish I could have been back then. You still would have been waiting a really long time, right? But check this out, okay? Now, the only thing that could have possibly kept you in Bitcoin, I'm just going to go month for month, okay? $34. Wow, that's cool. $96. That's great. So you see all the ups and downs. It's a roller coaster ride to the top, isn't it? You see how much of a roller coaster ride? Look at that. We're talking the 31st of October of 2013, and it's at $1,120. Think about that. $1,120. Let's keep going. Wow, back to $732 just a month later. Look at this ride. The reason I'm showing you guys this, just keep looking at the numbers. 550, 455, 449. This is Bitcoin, guys. This is really the most successful project. It's the first project, right? But let's just think in terms of months instead of years here, because we know you guys aren't going to be waiting years for something to happen. This isn't the introduction to crypto with Sosana, right? But it is in Bitcoin. This is the introduction to blockchain. Nobody understands it yet. $628. Look at these numbers. 391. I mean, guys, you really, if you're going to hold on to this thing, you really better know why you're there. You really better understand and have a vision of what blockchain is, because now it's the 31st of 2014 in December 31st, 2014, $217, guys. What? This is crazy when you look at this. 244, 236. We're just going month to month here. 236, 310. Look at this. Look how long it takes. Okay, we're back up into the thousands. Now, I remember this is when I kind of started finding out more about blockchain. I really bought my first Bitcoin around this time. I was around $1,500. And I remember, 2000, actually, let me see. I could have sworn it was sooner than that, but anyway. And this may not be the most accurate chart, but this is what it's showing us. So just look at this, though. The bottom line is this. It takes a long time. And if this was instead of year to year, month to month, even then, if you didn't understand what it was, you might make some bad decisions along this way, not knowing. And look at this. In 2020, man, everything changed. We had a low point here of around $6,400, a high point in 2021 of $58,000 plus. Amazing, right? But you can see even the most successful project is a bumpy road. Look at that. Back down to what? 16,000. Folks, people had to endure $61,000 Bitcoin all the way down to $16,000. It's a bumpy road to the top, isn't it? I'm just showing you this, folks, to show you historical data to help you understand and put things in perspective. That if you're worried about one day to the next or 1 hour to the next, man, are you wasting your time. If you don't believe in a project from 1 hour to the next, if you go, man, I'm really excited about Sosana because I got in at like 20 cents and now it's 40 cents. Man, that's awesome. I love Sosana. And you come back the next day and it's 15 cents. And some people actually think about it, some people actually make a decision on that. What a shame. From one day to the next? That's what I'm trying to get across to you guys. I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys can understand that. All right, I'm going to take just a few questions. It's about 15 till the top of the hour. We've been on here for about 45 minutes. All right, I knew this question would come. Any update on the airdrop tomorrow? There's really no update. It's still as planned. We're planning on doing the drop tomorrow. That's Wednesday. That's what we planned. So until I hear anything different from Dave and the devs and everybody, same plan. We're dropping it tomorrow. So that's basically it. There's really no update. It's supposed to happen tomorrow, same as what we had announced. So nothing to really tell you there. I'll let you know though, guys. If anything changes, of course, we'll let you know. I'm going to be gone tomorrow, so you guys are left in really good hands. I hope you guys don't think Brian, when I leave you in the hands of Brian, which he and I every once in a while will take a night off because we got to do something, but I wouldn't be surprised if I come back and you guys are like, man, why are you back here? Brian does a great job. Keep Brian on here. Keep Brian on the ball. But no, Brian's going to be here tonight or tomorrow night for you guys. I'm going to be gone, and then I'll be back Thursday night to be here for you guys to answer questions, things like that. Wake says, how is the airdrop going to work? How does someone make sure they receive the airdrop if they were in version 1? There is a time, date stamped, basically snapshot, I guess you call it, in a way. I don't know, for lack of a better term, but our developers understand they're going back in time and they're looking. That's the reason why this isn't happening like overnight, because they are going back in time and they're doing the research to make sure that they get the data right for all the wallets that are in there. And so they're just going to go back there and do their thing to make sure you guys get the tokens that you have coming to you. When do you plan on starting the marketing for Sosana? We're already doing it, George, through word of mouth. But as far as cold marketing, that's an excellent question. Right now, we're really focused on getting the airdrop. Let's kind of live in this is one of those times you want to live in the present moment. Let's live in the present moment. Let's get through the airdrop, number one. Number two, let's get this utility launched, right? Let's get this thing to the finish line. And then, man, we can really just blow it up with the marketing. And that's an excellent question, though, George. I appreciate that. But yeah, the marketing's coming, and we're gearing up for it. Trust me, I'll tell you. But first things first, we can only do so much, right? We really got to focus. Is the recent launch actually a rebuild, relaunch? I was confused by older posts on X. Yes, it basically is. If you look at our old story, I wish I had more time, Larry, and we'll do it another time, maybe go back into time and talk about what happened. But you can get the information probably from the person who invited you, or maybe the person who invited them, and they can just tell you exactly what happened. I don't have a way to really go into the story, and I don't want to just answer that with a couple of words either. So, it's just kind of the way it is. But all I can tell you is we are taking care of our community, and that's what we will always do. And that's the reason for this airdrop. But you got to understand that, folks. If Sosana 1.0 hadn't happened the way it did, maybe we wouldn't think about it. You wouldn't have had another opportunity at it. I don't know where we would be now by then, or by now. I don't know where we would be by now if things hadn't turned out the way they were. But here we are. Everything happens for a reason, and we believe, if we look back, that it was a blessing. And we just can't get into all the details of that right now. But completely new to crypto. Any tips and tricks to get me started? Man, you know what? I'm the wrong person to ask right now at this time. So I would recommend going to YouTube and looking up what is Bitcoin, what is blockchain. You're completely new to crypto. Find out what blockchain is, and you'll have a real appreciation for it. It's an amazing financial instrument. I think it's the greatest financial instrument ever invented is crypto. But hey, everybody has an opinion, right? Go look it up. You can do a YouTube search on what is blockchain, what is Bitcoin, how did they get started, things like that. What time is the airdrop? We don't have an exact time yet. I've been telling people, just if you're expecting it, just check your wallet Thursday morning, because I can't tell you exactly the time, but maybe we'll know something tomorrow when we get back. Let's see. Okay. Israel's asking, what is the difference between the old pre-enrollment affiliate link and the new link he's about to roll out in a couple of weeks? Brian, do you know what he's talking about in terms of the new affiliate link? What's he talking about? Do you know? Brian, you with me? I don't know of any new link. It's the same link. It should be exactly the same. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. Brian must have stepped out for a little bit. Let's see. What is the reason the token goes down or up? Well, when it goes down, it means more people are selling it. And when it goes up, it means more people are buying it. It's really that simple. More buys are coming in than sells when it goes up. More sells are coming in than buys when it goes down. That's all there is to it. Hello. May I ask where we are in respect to Sosana being verified on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko? All I can tell you is it's in the works and as fast as possible. Great question. If you look at CoinGecko, we're already on it. So just go to CoinGecko and look up Sosana, and you'll find us already. It doesn't have all the most up-to-date information quite yet because we haven't finished the airdrop. So we're going to make sure that once we do that, we'll update the information. But we're already on CoinGecko, and yes, CoinMarketCap is coming next very soon. All right, I'm going to try to zip through all these questions. Do I have permission to embed the Saturday Zoom call on my landing page? I mean, if you do that, that's fine, but the thing you got to realize about these recorded Zoom calls, guys, is eventually they're outdated, right? When we talk about prices, we talk about so many different topics that are going to be outdated in just a few weeks. So if you're to do that, that's fine, but at the same time, we're going to start purging some of those recordings. They're not going to stay out there forever, right? Pricing is a function of supply and demand. Yep, that's right, Professor. Listen to the professor. All right, here we go. Michael says, hi, Mark. This is going to be the last question, folks. Hi, Mark. Will that increase the holders amount after the airdrop? Okay, will there be more holders? Is that what you're asking? I don't think there'll be that many more holders, but there could be a few more. Most of the people that I've spoken to that are in version 1 actually purchase tokens in version 2 anyway. So I don't expect there to be a lot more holders, but there could be a few more. Keep in mind, there was really only what is stated about 233 holders total. And those aren't necessarily holders. Those are just the wallets that are holding it. So that's basically it. Okay. All right, man. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming on. Thank you, Brian, for all of your input as usual. Thank you, everybody, for coming on this call tonight. Be ready to be here 9 p.m. Eastern. Bring your friends. You know, don't miss tomorrow's call. I'm sure there's going to be some more updates. Yes, you're probably going to hear something about the airdrop. And I just want to say that I really appreciate each and every one of you. I will do everything I can. I can't be in more places than once, but I do everything I can to help you guys in every way in this community. And so love everybody, love every one of you, and thank you for coming on the call. We will see you. I won't be here tomorrow night, but Brian will, and then I'll see you guys Thursday, but we'll see you guys soon.